So, you know, your view is the show that ladies are hosting. And when women have a show like this, people always assume that we tilt towards having conversations around that supports or promotes women. All right, so there was a video that went viral. 3 women believed to be sisters were filmed assaulting a man for allegedly cheating on one of them. Footage of the assault has been shared online, sparking outrage. The video shows 3 women pouncing on a man with their fists and sticks. As they slapped and punched him, the man begged for mercy. Despite his pleas, the women were seen to be unrelenting. Now, from the conversation, it appears the man was unfaithful to one of the sisters he's dating. Now, we don't know the full details, and as I said, we can only take lessons from these things. We don't know the backstory or what caused it, what led to it, and why it was happening. But what was more interesting was the comments about the video. Many people said, oh, if we're 3 men, pouncing on a woman, Deal of Nigeria will carry placard, says human rights, domestic violence, we'll call it all sorts of names. But now that 3 women are beating a man, it has a whole different coloration. People are saying, if it was me, I would beat her back or something, or why would they were justified in beating because the man was cheating on one with the other and the other kind of, you know, that messy story. What are your thoughts, especially because we need to understand what is assault? When is an assault permissible? When is it understandable? And when is it a complete and total crime in the eyes of Nigeria, not in front of the law? In the law is clear, black and white. We're talking in the eye of Nigerians, in the moral. We're using the moral lens. What do you think is permissible in this part of the town? Call us on numbers on your screen: 08120764169, 09024164340. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read the tweet. Who would like to start? Nima. Let me start with you. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Because if we get the story right, the man was probably dating one sister and then was trying to get with another sister and trying to have some, you know, maybe sleep with her or something like that. And the 3 sisters now ganged up to beat him up.
They set him up.
They set him up. They set up. Yes.
So,
what are your thoughts on
legally, it's an assault.
Yes.
And we'll leave that for the courts, and it's not right. But what led to what? I think a philandra kind of man who decided that every girl is okay to catch. They call it wise, because when guys do these things to girls and they're able to sleep with a couple of them, there was this thing they used to call a guy's gist back then when I was a young girl that made us decide just to stay away, because they keep a record and then they will talk about it. So I had sisters, and it was a thing where one guy would toast one, come back and toast the other, and it was about their records. So we just decided to stay away. But we know sisters that this thing went around. And this is not the first time I was seeing it, where the sisters would now say, I told you he was asking me out. Okay, let's set him up. And then they will lead the guy. One will say, okay, I've agreed. And then they will lead him to a place like the one in the video and give him proper beating. Yeah. To teach him a lesson. You know, if one toast girl, but don't set up sisters and make a gist of it, that kind of thing. But what they did to him certainly was an assault. If they were provoked, I'd leave it for the court to decide. But, you know, this was not the
Well, let me come to you, BC. What are your own thoughts on this?
An assault is an assault. Assault is a physical attack. And under no circumstances would you raise your hand and hit another person. There is no what led to. Because when it happens the other way around, is the man that's beaten. We don't focus on what led to. There's no reason to hit another human being. If you find out that they have chiked me and chiked my sister and chiked the other person, you leave the relationship. You take a walk. You're not a tree. You move. Who planted you there? You tell him, we're done with this. Are you game? We are done. 3 of us are done, Abi. Carry your wahala and go. You take yourself away. But for you to sit and start hitting a man because he decided to do what probably he had known best, or probably that's what he has always been doing, what he's used to, and then after hitting him, I would still bet that one of them will still end up with that same person. Because you're hitting from a place of, you're not so upset. You're upset that you are feeling used. You're not feeling angry enough to remove yourself from the situation. They are still involved in the situation. That's why it's hurting them so bad that they are hitting him. Take yourself out of that situation and allow him to go about his messy life the way he wants to go about it. But for you to hit somebody, that I believe that guy should arrest them. He should go to the police and probably take them to court. They assaulted him. The dating and toasting everybody is not a crime as far as I'm concerned. It's not in the law that once you toast a sister, you cannot toast. There are people who marry from the same family and marry two sisters. It happens in our culture. So it's not a crime in law that if you toast this person, you cannot toast this person. When I toast you, did you agree or did you not agree? Why are we putting the blame on?
So let's take it from this angle. Do you think social media has completely taking away some things we do? There's some streets culture that we do that kind of really cause you to be resilient in future, where you do something where they'll teach you. You know how back in the day, you do something wrong and somebody will slap your face because they are teaching you some sense. But now, somebody records that and, it's an assault. Or it's put out there and it has a totally different meaning. Wait, there were certain things that happens to you that you want to commit a crime or do something and they deal with you. That for life, you remember that, yes. And I went to go and teach Yasikira's Kakara. All the uncles gathered together and beat me up. And since that day, I never forgot it. Those experiences were part of what makes us who we are today. But if you try that today, they will target assault, they'll target discrimination, all sort of things. And we're not, are we going away from those lessons? I'm not trying to say that, but that's what this is. But we've seen boys gather to beat up somebody. When we're growing up, we've all seen. I told Mike, I'm coming to you. I had a cousin whose husband had maltreated her, and trust me, she called for help. The man had locked up everything. Like she didn't allow access to phones, access to anything. She found a way to run to the neighbor's house to call my brothers, and I have 4 brothers. It was a cousin. There were 5 of them. Tall, over 6 feet, all of them. They drove 3 hours to her house, and they did what was necessary to set the guy straight. Since that day, he never touched her again. So the point is that this is what we've done. But if we had recorded it back then and put it on social media, they were arrested on social. So how do we resolve? Are we as our society totally moved away from those kind of what's the street language now? Those kind of resetting. So we have to do things by the crude system. We have to do things by the books. Let me come to you. What do you think?
Well, I don't really believe in this crude system that you're talking about. Because I want to put the shoe on my own foot. If I offend and you all come at me and beat me, honey, all of you are going to court.
I agree.
All of you.
With our parents,
do you understand? So that's why I read a lot of the comments, and for me, what got me was a lot of the women were laughing as if he deserved it. So some men were going at them, if it was men now, all of you, which is true, because I have found that with us women, when it is the man,
all of us will unite.
But when it's the woman, we will now start finding an excuse. It's okay now. He said, why was he chasing you on 3?
Yes, now.
Why? Excuse me. How do you know it's not his religion?
Exactly. To chase on 3.
Okay, let me say something. We've seen skits, all these skits people, putting a phone on a woman for dating and accepting to date someone else. Not even talk of sisters like these ones. Where a woman is dating one, she has another backup one. They will now say they do...
Don't put your eggs in one basket now.
The hair now.
Several baskets.
No, thank you. The woman will think she's being wise. Now you expect an understanding from the man when they find out. They will now put her face online. Nobody is asking for her permission. Nobody knows, is thinking about her image. And it's a popular thing. It's not today. Before phones came, they used to say they are disgracing such a woman. They will now push her out. The men would, some will even beat and slap her at it. It's not today. So it's not about a gender thing. It's not about a gender thing.
That is right.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, if this was an assault, provocation would at least reduce it to the barest minimum.
It is an assault.
2 girls find out, this guy is playing both of us, he's being silly. If he had gone ahead to sleep with them, it would make it a gist issue. Let me tell you the reason I did not date before I got married. It's this reason. Just this reason. They will say, I'm play CDC, Lori. Guys will now tell themselves. And I heard about several guys' friends. This was the normal gist. I said, God, they will never gist my gist. That's the only reason. Let me just mind myself. They will never gist my gist. But they find it a thing of fun. And if you get those girls, what would he do with the record and the numbers? He would spoil their what's the reputation in that neighborhood. We lived in a small local house.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm saying that they took justice. What would their justice have been?
What?
Walk away.
Yes, take
Like
yourself. Yes, self-respect.
Yes.
You walk away.
It could have also. That's right.
You don't know what to say. You have put Nima in the box this morning.
You walk away.
But
He's right, but it's also, what they did is not
just
also
wanted to
so
touch
bad.
on this already because
Teach him a lesson.
mainly the reason why I wanted to touch.
Let me ask a question
Okay.
before I know you're planning to run away. If you are 3 sisters in the house and somebody is dating you,
Not
why
dating, toasting.
or toasting you, why are you keeping it a secret? Why are the other sisters not aware that John has been toasting you?
That's the point.
Wait, so you keep it a secret. John takes advantage of the fact that your other sisters don't know he's coming and decides to go after them. Shouldn't you be blaming yourselves for not being
But this one's
for not being open?
This one's opened up to themselves.
After
John toasted you.
John has done 3 of them.
John
They now
Bosco
cut
Waka
John.
Waka, you
They didn't
toast,
open up.
you
They were
toast BC
secretive.
toast Nima. John Waka Waka Bosco, you toast BC toast Nima. In
Now
those
toast
days,
YK.
if they beat you, I might be a monk. That's just
All right.
We will go to court now.
Exactly.
we will go to court and I will show the court how you're a ghost.
So my
It's
point.
criminal offense. So
Wait.
It's the same
So
thing.
my point
There's
is,
a defense.
My point is,
provocation.
for the longest of times, women have always put themselves first when it has to do with a man, and they do not consider other people as their sisters, whether they are blood or not. Once this person is coming for me, let me keep it hush hush, let me protect myself. Even when I know that this person is probably liking Nima, I don't care. Let me collect him for myself. And we do that against ourselves. Guys don't do that. When a guy knows that the friend is interested in this person, they hands off. That's what they do. They bro code. They hands off and like, guy, carry that one, they go. But women, we don't care. We don't consider our sisters. And so when it now happens, when the guys now take advantage of it and it happens like this, you start blaming the man instead of blaming yourself for not considering your sister first.
Right.
If you come into a group like this and you see all of us, and it's Nima that you will like Nima to the end though. If you come to me, I will push you away because even if you don't date Nima again, the fact that in this group you singled her out and you liked her, you must like her till the end. That is my way of being a sister to Nima.
If we
I'll not go back.
we have to
Even if you
break.
break up, you're not consigning me.
We have to go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation.
Yeah.
But look at it, aside from these sisters, we'll see, just like you said, you're putting out the angle of friends. How do you manage relationships when you have similar feelings for multiple people? Stay with us, we'll be right back.